Welcome to Take That, guys.
Welcome to Take That. Woo!
What's
I'm
up?
excited to start on this journey.
Finally.
Shut up and sit down.
This is where what it was. Just see how far it goes. It is called. That's a grand slam home run. High drive to right. Headed to the wall. This game is over. It's just off the charts. Orlando next. Rivers, and he's upended at the 50. Marvelous defensive play.
Shut up and sit down.
Finally, we've been doing so many practices. This is the real thing.
Hell yeah.
I think this is the beginning of something special, man. I'm going to speak it into existence. This is the beginning of something special. This is a great show. If you're coming in here, you're like, oh, what's this? You don't recognize our beautiful mugs. And you're like, oh, what's this? They probably know nothing. We know everything. And we're going to prove it. We're going to have a fun time doing it. It's going to be the best sports podcast out there. I'm going to speak it into existence. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great show. I'm channeling my inner LeVar Ball here. It's going to be the best.
Feel it.
It's going to
Some
be.
of
It's
us
going to be
know
the best show.
everything. Others think they know everything.
Well,
Don't we all?
don't we all?
So on my left or right, what do you want to call it? Is JM. He only goes by JM. I don't know why, but anyway. And below me is Devin Holmes, and I'm Kyle Davis. And what are we going to talk about, Devin?
The offseason recap, some winners and losers, and I think
Baseball.
one more deal for the MLB offseason.
That sounds good to me.
I love it.
Well, I have tiebreakers for losers. It's really bad. I'm going with Detroit, Pitt, and pretty much Seattle. Out of all those, probably Pitt. There's no way they're going to do anything this year.
No.
They started.
Out of all those, you picked Pittsburgh, not Seattle, whose team president just like in one of the stupidest moves insulted Hishishiwa Iwakuma's, and I'm butchering that name and I apologize, Hishashi Iwakuma, butchering his English skills. See, I have no Japanese language skills. I can't talk crap on someone else's English skills. I can't pronounce his name.
And so,
yeah, I can't. I'm I'm not into anime like Kyle, I can't pronounce those names. I'm not, I wouldn't go around talking crap on his English. I haven't heard it. I'd imagine it's decent considering he's from a country where it's a secondary language. And so he goes out and insults the guy's language, the language barrier, or like the ability to pick up English. And then like talks about underpaying guys. Yeah, I think that's your loser because not only is Seattle bad, but now they're in turmoil. They also, I believe, had the longest postseason drought. They haven't made it since that historic 2001 season when they won, what was 116 games and still couldn't even make the World Series. So I respect you and go on about Pittsburgh, but of all those, I would have gone with Seattle. But why Pittsburgh?
I think Pitt just made terrible offseason choices, and I was kind of going by division, and it was just clear to me NL Central, they're the worst. I can't see them beating anybody. I mean, maybe they can beat Seattle.
I'm not playing.
I know.
You're gonna have to walk with me a little bit on this, but Clayton Kershaw in his time with the Dodgers. I think that, this could be the end of a beautiful, beautiful relationship. You look at who the Dodgers have now in this rotation. You're paying Trevor Bauer so much money. You have Walker Buehler as the new ace of that franchise. Everyone forgets, but you also have David Price. You have Dustin May. You have Julio Urias. If you're the Dodgers, there's one thing you have, it's pitching depth and young pitching depth, and you're tied to a lot of it already. Kershaw's a free agent after this year. Is he wearing that Dodger blue, or is he pitching somewhere else next year? I don't know. And if you're going to ask me, who would I rather have, Trevor Bauer or Clayton Kershaw? I'm going Clayton Kershaw.
I'm
Easy.
going Kershaw either too. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Right now?
I would say overall, and who I trust more longer term, because Kershaw's only going to be like 32 years old, I believe.
I think a good
Okay.
4 years would be good.
Yeah, you could get him for another 4 or 5 year deal. Why not? I would.
Then if he sucks on the 5th year,
Yeah.
oh well.
You're only expecting 3 great years remaining on that. Anything else
Basically.
would just be gravy. And if there's a guy I trust, it's Clayton Kershaw,
So why are you picking him as your loser?
because his time with the Dodgers,
So you're
Eh,
picking
he's
the
going to be
relationship.
somewhere going out. Yeah, their
Relationship is the loser. Okay, I get it.
I
I
wouldn't
get it.
say the player in general, but
Yeah,
No,
he's
it's the
been a
relationship.
consistent winner.
yep.
He at least in the regular season, a consistent winner. And honestly, the last couple of years, the postseason, he's even started to shake off those demons. So
Exactly.
if he does leave LA, there's going to be a team who gets him that's going to be pretty happy
I can think
if they can get their hands.
I can think of 29 teams that would love to add Clayton Kershaw to their staff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is it my turn for a loser?
Oh yeah. I mean, 2 of us out of 3 went.
Right. Well, I was
Then
just
afterwards,
wondering if-
give us a winner.
All right, so I'll end the loser talk right here with the Colorado Rockies.
Yep, they were on my list too.
Sure they were, and they should have been. Because, listen, I'm fine with teams taking a rebuilding route. I'm fine with that. Sometimes you just have to say, look, this current core isn't working out. I have to blow it up. It's gonna suck for years. It really is. I'm gonna have to, blow it up. It goes, it sucks. But the rebuilding process, you have to make good trades of your star players. You have to make sure you're getting something in return. They traded Nolan Arenado for nothing. Not only that, they're also paying the Cardinals to take on his contract. Just an awful move. And they didn't even get any top 10 prospects in the Cardinals. I mean, the least you could do is get a top 10 prospect. Yeah, maybe send some cash as well to cover that contract. But just a loser move by Colorado. It's a plight of the small market franchise. It's sad to see, but baseball is a sport that for the most part is dominated by major clubs in major cities, the New Yorks and LAs, and even Houston, who won a couple years ago. They're the fourth biggest market in the United States. They're by no means a small market. So it's sad to see for Colorado, but it goes kind of right into my winner, and it's my team, the San Diego Padres. And you're going to be hearing a lot about them this year. We're a fun team. We're an exciting team. Obviously, we've just extended our main man, Fernando Tatis Jr., at a hefty price for 14 years, 300, what was it, $30 million to get him for long term. It looks like he's going to be a Padre for life. And that was the icing on the cake of an offseason in which we brought in Blake Snell. We brought in Yu Darvish. And after last season, the moves we made, the Padres are looking really, really, really good. And certainly one of the best teams in baseball going forward. Unfortunately, they're in the same division as the aforementioned Dodgers, who are your world champions and projected to win over 100 games, according to a lot of sources, especially in Vegas. The Padres are right around that 92, 93 win mark for over-unders. But I still think they're an off-season winner. I still think they're going to go out and be a great team, a success story. After years of waiting for this team to improve, this team to do something with their, to succeed. Because not only for my entire life, not my entire life, but my last several years of my life, not only have they been bad, they've been boring. They haven't really had that star player to stick around long term that was going to definitely sell tickets or get on highlight reels. So it's exciting to see, as a San Diego Padres fan, finally, a team that is worth the price of admission if they're letting fans in this year. Or
Can you say objectively that Padres will beat the Dodgers?
I think there's a chance. I certainly think it's going to be a heck of a series. I think that's why they play the games. And, the Dodgers got the monkey off the back, so to speak, by finally winning that World Series. But that takes away a bit of that hunger, that they're not having this wait since 88, last time they won before last year. So it takes away a bit of that hunger. Padres have never won a World Series. They have a fan base that's excited.
Are you really going to say they still aren't hungry, or are they trying to capitalize right now in the window of great players that they have? They might be hungry to start a little dynasty like their rivals in San Fran did.
Sure. I'm not saying the front office. I'm saying some of the players in general. I'm not doubting that they're going to be a great team, but my money's on the Padres. And I'm not just saying that as a fan. Of course, bias exists. I'm going to admit my bias for my San Diego Padres, but I am confident that they are, at the very least, going to be very competitive. And I could see them easily this season series being kind of a 500 deal where they basically split the games 50-50. And then I think if they meet in the playoffs, there's a shot.
And to any viewers, I promise JM, if they verse the Mets later on, I will buy tickets.
Yeah. Looks like they're allowing fans
too.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to allow fans this year. I think if New York's even starting at like a 10% capacity. So if hopefully come playoff time, it might be a bit higher.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I'll also just say, I'm glad we got baseball last year, the little taste we did, but it wasn't as fun without the fans. You didn't get that. And I understand why they did it. There's more important things than fans at baseball games, but it still sucked. We could still admit it sucked. The atmosphere certainly wasn't what it usually is in a playoffs. It was nice to have the fans for the NLCS in the World Series, the limited what numbers we had, it felt a bit like normal. But even watching and listening to some of these spring training games in Florida where they've had fans, Florida and Arizona, it's been really nice and a nice change of pace from last year when, it's empty stadiums. Again, I'm grateful that we had the season that we did, that we could get it off. There were a lot of doubts that we could, but I'm glad that we're going to have fans back in the seats for most of these teams for this season.
I'm happy seeing them at spring training too.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Well, that kind of leads into my winner. The best pitcher in all of baseball, Jacob deGrom. How can you not say he didn't win an award this offseason? The New York Mets addressed catcher by signing James McCann, who, as we saw recently in spring training, he can throw out base runners. Mets catchers haven't been able to do that ever, it feels like. You got Francisco Lindor, one of the best, if not the best, shortstop in all of baseball. Defensively, a top 5 shortstop in a position where the Mets have been the bottom of the league defensively since Jose Reyes left the team the first time around. You got Albert O'Mora Jr. and Pilar to play in the outfield and center field. You got good depth there. And with that defense, is going to hopefully give Jacob deGrom more wins. They built a team around him so that way he can win some ball games. It's not all on him. It's going to be nice as a Mets fan, knowing that 1 out of every 5 days, deGrom will take the mound, have around a 2 ERA for a season, and this time come close to 20 plus wins in a year and not have to hope that can he get 10, can he get 11. This man should be getting 20 win seasons, every year like clockwork. And now the Mets are finally getting a defense around this man to help him out.
And it's not like he hasn't been recognized throughout the whole league like this whole time.
No, but he could be even better.
No,
That's
I
the
know.
thing.
I'm saying we can actually come as a team. And if anyone doesn't know, I'm also a Mets fan. So
Yeah, I'm outnumbered here.
yep, 2-1. Sorry.
Like the Mets and pot. It's not like I'm a Phillies fan though.
So
I'm not.
Kyle, who's your winner or a winner?
A winner. So I have an off-season winner and a regular winner. Mets are winners and off-season winners.
Mhm.
I think Washington had a pretty good offseason, even though it was limited moves. The limited moves were actually good. Atlanta's going to be hard to beat, man. That's the winner that I have in my book. It's going to be hard. And I don't do that. I hate that chant.
I'm going to offend Braves fans here. You guys stole that from Florida State University. I'm
That
sorry.
is true. That is true.
Same thing with Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. You stole this
All right,
whole.
let's save
that
that
from the
for the
Florida
college,
State.
the comparing college football and Major League Baseball and NFL football podcast episode. Let's save it for then.
Is there gonna be
we're
an
having
episode?
fun. Having some fun here.
No,
But
we're
go
gonna
on.
need some downtime episodes, aren't we? At some point,
Fair
make it a
enough.
list.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I love the Mets, but it's gonna be tough.
Well, the National League East is going to be a tough division. I'm not sure if you saw Bryce Harper.
It's the best division in baseball. I would say the most
That's what he said.
competitive.
Best division. And I could definitely see it top to bottom. Washington had an off year last year. Let's not count 2020. Okay, folks, let's not count a 60-game season.
Let's not count all of 2020. We can learn
Yeah.
some things from 2020. We can't take everything from 2020.
Yeah.
Devin doesn't like Trevor Bauer in 2020.
I just don't like Trevor Bauer. What can I say?
You,
I need to
The-
see
the-
more
the
than just
idea
1.5 years of
the
good.
idea behind this podcast came on because we are text chat buddies and we have an ongoing discussions in text chats. debates, discussions that go on. And it's kind of my idea. And I was like, we're pretty good at this with this sports talk thing. Why are we just doing it for ourselves? Why not share our wisdom and smarts with the world and get our debates out there? Because they're pretty
Smarts.
funny and entertaining. And let's get out there in the world. And the text chats, there's been a lot of discussions about Trevor Bauer, especially in his long free agency discussion. And Kyle's a big Trevor Bauer fan. Devin, not so much. He's kind of the anti-Trevor Bauer guy. And I'm just here to stir the
voice
pot.
of reason.
To
I'm
stir
the
the
voice of reason.
There's
Another
some
deb-
voice of reasons that I'm better at, but
like
I
Michael
I
Conforto.
can get your point, Devin. I know it's a gamble, but I loved seeing Trevor Bauer pitch. I really loved watching him last year. It was really great.
Well, his deal that the Dodgers gave him, essentially, in all reality, a 2 years, $85 million contract. No, thank you. Way overpaid. He should not be getting that much money. No, sorry. End of sentence.
I don't know how he even
Overpaid.
came up with that number.
Well, hey, give him and his agent a lot of credit.
I guess so.
But hey, watch him have a 4-something ERA, and it'll all be hilarious.
Don't count last year. It was a 60-game season. Washington had a bad year, but 2019 they were the world champs.
Mhm.
So, and they haven't really, the roster hasn't really changed that much since then. Hopefully they can get Steven Strasburg back.
They need Scherzer healthy for one
Scherzer
last year.
healthy.
I remember
I-
seeing projections that they're going to be last this year. I'm like, you're freaking crazy.
Yeah. I think, and even Philadelphia, I think, and Miami are going to be competitive.
I think
Uh,
I mean, not as
going to be competitive, but not that good.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the race, but they'll be feisty.
It's going to, you know what? Anytime you're in an NL East division battle, it's going to be a dogfight, whether it's against the top teams in this division, like the Mets and the Braves and the Nationals, or if it's going down towards the bottom, like the Phillies and the Marlins. It's going to be a dogfight. It's going to, it's going to be ultra competitive. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm gonna have to watch some NL East. NL East games are going to be appointment viewing, especially Mets Braves, Nationals Braves, Mets Nationals. Those are going to be appointment viewing, kind of like the Dodgers and the Padres are out west.
Absolutely. Acuna. Devin doesn't like when I do that.
The big Ronald Acuna fan. Big.
No. Come on, buddy. Who's your winner?
We need to get him a sign that says "Quiet on set." Right after we get him the Michael Conforto bobblehead.
You're getting that. I'm not paying for that.
How much is a bobblehead? Like $10?
No, it's definitely not $10. Maybe off the street. And that looks like Devin's Thor bobblehead, which is very unproportionate and totally doesn't look like him. Can you show that bobblehead real quick, or is he still deaf?
Sorry about that. There was some technical issues in the bag that I had to help with. So a player that I think that won this offseason that wasn't a Met, we haven't talked about yet. I mean, Nolan Arenado is a clear winner. I think that in terms of winners, I mean, I think it's going to be great for Blake Snell to pitch in a real, or at least have the option to pitch past the 5th inning. I think that's going to be great for him. Let's see if he can handle all that. I think Real Muto staying with Philly is a big move, and it was a smart move for them. George Springer to Toronto makes a lot of sense for them. They're a young team. They need that guy that can, help them win. There was a lot of moves that made sense.
I really wish we got him.
However, I think Trevor Bauer, if he signed with the Angels, I don't know. long term they would have been a better fit. You have Mike Trout. The Angels really need to add someone else, and the fact that they haven't is
I feel bad for
travesty.
Trout.
Oh, absolutely. He's the best player in the sport, and you get no help around him.
Yep,
Well,
he's
he
the
cho-
number
he
one
chose
pick
that-
in fantasy.
Shows that. And I hate to bag too much on Mike Trout, the Jersey man, from Vineland, New Jersey, but he chose that. He was the one that just signed that
No,
long-term deal.
it's all on the ownership of the team. I'm not
He knew
blaming Mike
he knew
Trout for it.
he knew what he was going to sign into. He could have gone to a better team. You're telling
He
me he
should
couldn't
have.
have?
Well, I think the team
He had
should
a
also,
choice.
build a better team around them. They need to invest in more starting pitching, better pitching,
Well,
I should say.
the Angels are almost like they're the Mets, but not even, because first of all, they call themselves the LA Angels of Anaheim, and that's something that really grinds my gears. Is when
I was
people
just gonna
call
say, grind your gears.
yeah, that really grinds my gears is when people confuse Anaheim, which is in Orange County, with LA, which is its own thing. Like the Orange County is its own thing. Anaheim is its own thing. First of all, I think they should have stayed the California Angels. That was a sick name. Or the Anaheim Angels. But they're the second fiddle to the Dodgers. And they don't even play in LA proper. They play down in Anaheim in Orange County. Beautiful stadium. Mike Trout's amazing. But other than that, when's the last time you ever really heard about the Angels?
So if you were to pick a place for Trout, who do you think would pick him up? Who would be
I mean-
able to afford him?
If I were to go back,
What team's willing to give up their entire farm system and their best
Well,
players
no,
right
I'm
now
talking-
for one player?
I'm talking back when he chose free agency.
No,
When
I
he-
understand that. I'm just saying hypothetical.
I think he's kind of stuck
Whichever
there.
team has the most prospects, or the best prospects, like you would have to give up an entire farm to get Mike
Yeah.
Trout. I don't. It's nice
I'm not
to
sure if
think
it's worth
that
it.
who would, but
Well, I know
no
a lot of
one's
people.
physically able to. Like, I can't even think of a scenario.
A lot of people were looking at him potentially joining the Yanks back in 2019.
Oh
But,
god.
Obviously, that didn't happen, and he's stuck in Anaheim.
Before he signed this mega extension, yeah, there was real thought that he would be, or that he could have left. So we got about 10 minutes left. Let's end our discussion with one more deal. One
And-
more free agent sign or a big signing or an extension, something like that. And
That'll be
I
the
am
show
gonna start-
forced trade.
I'm going to start this off with Javi Baez. All the members of Chicago, he's the most likely to stay in Chicago. I have no sourcing on this. I'm just, going off my gut. If there's a player that's going to stay in Chicago between him, Rizzo, Bryant, I don't know. I'm going to trust that they're going to pick Javi Baez and try to sign him long term.
That'd
He's
be
the one that
nice.
you should sign long term.
Yeah. He's
Nothing
my
against Chris
fantasy
Bryant.
go-to.
Nothing against Chris Bryant or Anthony Rizzo, great players, but you see that they're, no more John Lester, no more Yu Darvish, no more Kyle Schwarber. Bryant could very well be walking out the door. Rizzo, who knows? Javi Baez it's going to be an interesting time for these Chicago Cubs, but
It's gonna cost them though, whoever gets
well,
them.
as one of these top elite free agent shortstops that's going to be coming out in the next season, you might want to try to lock them up because now you see what Fernando Tatis is worth. The Mets are going to be discussing with Lindor soon, if not now, today. They'll be talking about what they're going to do. And yeah, I mean, I think maybe the Cubs would be smart to get ahead on that and try to lock down their face of the franchise player to a long-term deal.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with kind of a team we already discussed in my losers column, and that's Colorado. And I think if you're going to go into the rebuild mode, maybe trade another star, and that star is Trevor Story. And I do see him going to a team like New York, the Yankees. I think that's a likely move. The only question is, I think it's going to happen. The only question is it going to happen now or around the deadline? You might have more value down at the deadline, but that's my one move that I can see happening. Whether it's the next move that's going to happen, probably not, but it's definitely a move that will happen between now and the end of the season, is Trevor Story being dealt. And I believe the Yankees are going to be the favorite to land Story. And with the injuries they have, it'd be nice to get another star player in there as they make a push to the playoffs late in the season. So I could see at the deadline, July 31st, where you get that little notification on your phone or watching SportsCenter and it's breaking news, and it'll be Trevor Story to the New York Yankees.
He should definitely wait till the deadline.
If I were to guess where Story goes, the team actually like a lot better for him, and I think it would be a lot more fun, would be the Angels, team that I mentioned earlier. And if we're gonna, play a little matchmaker with the shortstops and future teams, if I were to pick one for the Yankees, I think I would go for the kill and, really hurt a rival once again. I would go for Carlos Correa. That way you're adding Cole.
Yeah.
And now you're adding Correa from your, number one playoff rival the past few years.
I'm trying to think of an outfielder that's still maybe out there for the Mets. I know I'm being biased right now.
So one of these days we'll have an episode where Kyle doesn't have to exclusively talk Mets.
I don't think that'll happen. I would say one of the losers needs someone.
What about Jackie Bradley Jr.?
I was just thinking him. I wasn't really wanting him on the Mets, even though he'd be a good center fielder, and I think he's going to want years and money.
And I do believe the Brewers are in on the mix on JPJ, so maybe he heads to Milwaukee.
That'll be interesting with Lorenzo Cain returning there as well.
Did I just spoil it for everyone, Kyle?
A little bit.
Okay. I apologize.
I'm trying to see if there's a name I can't pronounce.
Just everybody. Hey, I messed up earlier with Hisashi Iwakuma, so.
Yeah, I was standing far away from that name.
I'm better with Japanese than Spanish.
I'm the opposite, but I grew up in Southern California, so I grew up with, with Mexican friends and having to pronounce their names. Then, I didn't hang out with as many people from Japan as Hispanic.
Oh, I hang out with Naruto.
Well, you watch Naruto, I know that.
No, I totally hang out with him.
I never got into the anime, but is that a wrap? Do we tie it up in a nice, neat little bow and call it a day?
Sure, why not? I think
all right, guys. I want to thank our audience for watching. This is the start of, again, like I said at the beginning, this is the start of something historic, and you are here to witness it. People are going to come back
in my polar bear outfit.
People are going to be coming back.
Historically good or historically bad?
People are going to be coming back
to watch.
Could go either way.
People are going to be coming back to this first episode and being like, wow, this great sports podcast started so humbly. Just three guys in their respective rooms talking about baseball.
Very humble. One of these days.
Humble beginnings.
When I'm the greatest of all.
You wouldn't consider us humble if you saw our text.
Humble beginnings to, superstardom. And it's starting here, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.